Hey y'all, you're listening to Diagnosing Sitcoms and Movies, the DSM podcast. We help make mental health more comfortable by using Black movies and shows we know and love and culture to remove stigma. So join our convo with your host, Courtney Copeland, licensed mental health counselor,
and Dr. B, licensed professional counselor.
This show is not a substitute for professional care, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have or suspect you may have a medical or psychological condition, you should consult with your appropriate healthcare provider. You can also visit our website for resources on finding services near you.
Greetings and salutation.
Hey girl, hey. What's up, y'all? This episode, we are going to be talking about the 1996 comedy, Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. I think that's the longest title we've ever.
14 words. That was their trailer. The one movie this year to have 14 words in its tagline. In its title. Yes, that was one of their taglines.
They needed all of those, though, to represent the level of spoof that they were going to accomplish. Is this their first spoof movie?
I feel like it is. It should, because it's 1996.
Mm-hmm.
So this is right when they were doing Wayne's Brothers, and so
yeah, this was. I remember Marlon talking about doing this film and jumping right into writing for the Wayne's Brothers.
Oh yeah, so that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
But yes, so they took basically all the films that we do and they said, let's make a spoof of these in one big collection.
I have a theory, right?
Okay.
Not that we're merging universes or anything, but I wonder if the 90s was where that war on drugs really took place, and then establishing all these gangs and drugs, and so they're making fun of something that was really happening. The people who wrote those movies wanted to show what it was like being in the hood, and what drugs and gangs pretty much did to their hood. But I wonder why it was every one of these movies were pretty fucked up. And and it was why at this time? It seemed like all of these movies probably came out right around the same time. So
there is a reason. So okay. How you were saying with the social implications and everything that happened during the time of the late 70s and 80s, the 90s is when all of it kind of came to fruition. The dust was settling and all of these things were in creation and moving. And it started with John Singleton's Boys in the Hood. And then it was such a surprise success. Other film houses were okay, well, we need our version of Boys in the Hood. Mm-hmm. And so then we got
Menace to Society.
We got Menace to Society. We got those other movies. We got, all of these hood films as a result, because it was almost like a cash grab by these other production companies and saying, okay, we need our version of this. And then other cities wanted to tell their stories of basically the same thing, or in other neighborhoods, even in LA, just saying, okay, well, this is our take on it. And because of that, we had all of these. And it was almost kind of got to the point where it was how we say a lot of Black films are trauma porn. And it's just all of these negative things and the celebration of just the negative aspects of it. And that is why I think I appreciate the Wayans brothers so much, because they're able to find the funny in it. They're able to pull that out and make light of it, make fun of the situations. And yes, they do it with the level of social commentary that exists, but sometimes it does get overshadowed because they are so foolish. They are, they always have to here's the line, and they're right on the other side of it.
Kim, why she had to come out, baby? Why? Where's the relevance in that?
That's not your baby. That's not your baby.
Exactly.
Huh. Ain't that some shit?
So then, we talk about it too, them playing up on a lot of stereotypes, in a humorous way, but then that also goes to show that those movies were displaying certain things that were kind of stereotypical of what they felt, that Black experience was like. But they did it. They did a lot of it in this movie, as far as
I love it. I love this movie. This movie is hilarious to me. I can watch this movie weekly.
I was also gonna ask, like, but how I see how they got like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, but as far as like the other like Dead Presidents and Friday, or no, well not well Friday. I saw someone list that, and I don't know if I would see Friday in it, but Juice and Higher Learning. So does that tie in too during that particular time as well?
John Singleton was also the director for Higher Learning. And so it was one of his films. And so actually his coming up after that, there was Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, and then Higher Learning. I think it was in that order. Poetic Justice and Higher Learning might be flip-flopped. I'm not exactly sure, but I know it was those three in that, those first three. And then Juice kind of got lumped into it because it was of the time, it was the East Coast version of that. And so they were kind of like, they lumped it in and basically like at the time saying like Juice is basically the East Coast version of these. It's these hood movies, this hood film genre that was created. And I think Dead Presidents goes because that movie is so dark and so just,
So Hustle is the hood version of these of those particular movies for the South. Ooh. You know, Hustle. You know, it's hard out here for a pimp.
Oh, yeah, Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow.
I don't feel like it.
They don't have one for the South. They need one for the South.
I think they do. I would just have to think about it on it a little bit longer. Players Club, no, because that's a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like they. So you have the East Coast, the West Coast, but there's the South too that had their whole thing.
But also you have to remember that the South wasn't the production, the film powerhouse that it is now. And so people were like really New York and LA were able to tell their stories. And we were only getting New York and LA movies for a good piece of the early 90s. There were no other settings. And even if people were from other areas or they were representing other areas in their film, they still shot it in New York or LA. Yeah. So like how we were talking about before with when we did House Party and we were like, but it looks like LA. Yeah, because that's where they shot it. Yeah. So we're only getting those sets. We're only getting those stories. And now it's a little bit more balanced because we have representation from the North, the East, the South, the West, all of that. Other countries now are getting on to in a large way.
I like that.
Message.
Okay. Yes. I was just gonna say, like, what were some of your favorite like spoofs that you clearly could see from other movies?
Oh man, just it's so much, and like I feel like I feel like they don't get the credit that they deserve. No. Like even if you look at the sets and you look at all of the stuff going on in the background, like there's so much hilarious stuff that like if you just watch it the first time, you're not gonna see. Like why the fuck did they have all them damn fake leaves falling? Why?
Why? Was that
first of all, these are palm trees around. So
where are these bright orange leaves just falling out of nowhere?
Why? Had to say.
I think they did it twice too. They did it when he was fishing with his dad.
Because remember when Trey and Boys in the Hood and Trey had to rake the leaves, but they didn't have no damn tree in front of their house? Where the fuck is these leaves coming from?
See? I never even realized that.
Attention to detail. I love it.
Yeah. They actually had Janet Jackson was here written on the mail truck.
It did like just the little stuff that was making me laugh. Like the cereal, when she went to open up the cabinet for the cereals, it said Tricks and Wheaties. But not Wheaties like have you eaten your Wheaties like today? It was Weedies, Wheaties. Yeah, and not Tricks are for kids, but TRICKS, Tricks.
Tricks. That is terrible. I wonder what the little cereal shapes were. Like shapes of weed leaf and then like a prostitute. I don't know.
And then the dad's like whole house being in plastic. Even the pictures on the wall were wrapped in plastic and the stove was wrapped
I can't. Yeah, they go extra. They go the mile with their stuff.
I love that. Yes. I appreciate them so much.
So, there was one quote that stood out to me. It's Vivica Fox. And she's like, you're going to either become a pimp or be security for Eddie Murphy. I wanted to know, what was the background behind that? Do you know?
So I'm not exactly sure, but I figured that there has to be something there because Keenen and Eddie Murphy are real good friends. And Eddie Murphy, like Keenen wrote on Raw and Delirious and all of that. And Eddie Murphy used to come by their house in the projects. And when Marlon and Sean was kids, and they would make fun of Eddie Murphy clothes because you know how Eddie dressed and different stuff like that. So I can only imagine what that was in reference to. I feel like that was a joke for them. Like that wasn't even for us.
And I tried looking it up and I really couldn't find anything.
I feel like that was for them. That was
okay. All right, that's fine. I was just being busy.
I feel like the most popular quote that we even use on our website came from this movie. Hurry up and buy.
Hurry up and buy. So what's interesting is that particular character is the convenience store woman from Menace to Society.
Yep. And she was willing to reprise her role.
Yes, but she was actually funny in this one. The other one, I was like, shut up. But the guy who got stomped out in Menace to Society is the same guy for this one. And he got stomped out twice.
And he was flat as a pancake in the car. Let's go get these niggas.
They play too much. Oh my God. Oh, and then
I love it.
When we used to go into, I never even realized where it came from because I was I think I was 8, and we would walk into VIM, and it'd be like, nigga. When we walk in,
they just looked at each other, shrugged it off.
So now every time we walk into those stores with that ding ding, yeah, we'd be like, yeah. Oh my gosh, terrible. Kids.
I have sung to somebody, happy birthday, homie. Happy birthday, homeboy.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was so sad. But I like how, Keen came in throughout the movie to drop the
message.
Because usually there was a message. But the one that came at the end of which movie was that?
He said, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
Yes. What movie was he quoting when he was
doing Boys in the Hood? But Marlon just took it somewhere.
Never forget, man. But they don't know. Don't show. Just don't care about being a menace to South Central while they drink their juice in the hood. That's what it's all about, Trey.
The fuck is he talking about?
It was like, what? He messed us all up.
The fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, so that was a good one.
And then, I have so many favorites. You fall,
you better pick your punk ass up.
If you can't swim,
you found the drizzle.
Yeah. You ready to get jumped in?
Right, and then they do the...
That is his name. If he get head, he's got to get out the game. Get out the game.
Yo, that was so stupid. Okay, so what movie did that come from?
That's just them being dumb.
Oh my gosh. I'm over here like, okay, so who got jumped into a game? Oh my god. But seriously though, when you was in the hood growing up, double dutch, okay, you better know how to jump in. And if
or
you don't
have to get out the game.
The game. You're fucking us up. Get out.
Yeah, I couldn't. That's why I couldn't jump in, so I had to twirl. I was a twirler.
Oh. I would jump in, but I look like I'm about to die every time I go.
Yeah, I got popped in the face one time with a beaded rope, and so I got traumatized, so I couldn't jump in right. So I would swirl. I'm a swirler. Pretty jump in? I
swirl. I was double-handed. I was like, whatever.
Girl, I just learned how to do. I started that way, and they said that, but I wasn't jumping in, so I just learned how to swirl right.
Oh, I miss double dutch.
I just wanted to make sure that you remember always crossing the green, never in between, because the Honorable Reverend Elijah Muhammad Ali
looks like a butterfly and stings like a bee. And always remember, my brother, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, get a dog a bone, 2000 party, oops, out of time. My bacon smelling fine.
That is the dumbest quote. Like, what was the point of all of that? I hate that.
Because that's how the fake Muslims be talking when they come home from the inside. And not to be confused with the actual people who follow the religion of Islam. Not those people. We're talking about the fake Muslims that use Islam for protection in prison and then come home trying to talk that stuff. There's a very distinct difference between the two. We do not want to disrespect anybody's religion, but them fake ones that catch it on the inside, they sound just like that. Anytime I see like a hustling preacher, I always from this movie, don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask. No question.
That's what I should start telling my students. Don't ask. Don't ask.
That's it.
Just listen to what I'm saying and don't ask me questions. No, I do actually encourage
questions. On the other side. Nigga, get to the side. Why come Pastor got a brand new car?
Bruh. And then that whole church scene when the old ladies, the mothers of the church, to be correct, start like pretty much dance battling. Where does that?
With the obvious stunt double.
Yes. I was like, why?
And then they would cut to them and they would be doing something stupid.
Right. Exactly. First of all, I love these ladies because like you have to have a sense of humor to do this in the first place. And then I liked Grandma. What's her name? I forgot.
Helen Martin is her real name in real life.
He slapped the shit out of his grandma. Huh?
You still hit like a bitch.
I was like, oh shit, she really thuggish. I love it.
All right, let's go into diagnosis then. Okay, so I say loc dog, but I feel like you say lock dog. Which one is it?
I thought it was lock dog.
No one says his name.
Maybe it is loc dog. I have to listen to
no idea.
It in the movie.
Yeah, we're terrible at this, guys. Sorry. We should at least know the character's name, but I don't know. We're saying two different things.
We're gonna poll it. Lock dog or loc dog? Which one is it? Polling, friends.
Tell us in the comments. Either way, I diagnosed loc dog with other specified disruptive impulse control and conduct disorder. This category applies to presentations in which symptoms characteristic of a disruptive impulse control and conduct disorder cause clinically significant distress or impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of functioning. They're predominant, but do not meet the full criteria for any of the disorders that are in that diagnostic class. And so we see lots of different instances where this impulse control causes him issue. One being his job interview when he was filling out the application and then going to see the man.
Age, maintain, height, 6 deuce, baby. Father's name, I don't know. 6. Hell yeah, nigga.
Salary desired, $3 million. Cash.
all on the man's desk, knocked it over, all of that.
Right.
Man was like, you know what? It's okay. Doesn't matter. You're hired to be a crash test dummy.
Because clearly you came in here acting like a dummy. That's your job.
You're hired. And then some of the things that he just said throughout the film. When they were talking to they old head, he was like, you know, I got no self-esteem. I ain't gonna grow up to be shit just like you.
Right. He was partly offended, like, oh. I don't know if that's a compliment.
Yeah, he looked at him kind of sideways.
Yeah.
I am concerned about his ability to express emotions. He did have touched on it a little bit when he first was talking about how his dad left and things like that. And when he first saw Ashtray, he was like, oh, fool ass Mark Ash trick, give me some love. All right, that's enough of that sentimental shit.
Oh, but you know, he also has a rep to keep. You know, you don't want to be, you can't be soft and showing emotion if you're supposed to be the roughest, toughest one in the game. You know?
Facts,
all them guns.
Leave the hood. This is home. I love the smell of gun smoke in the morning.
Who says that?
The Tech 9 with the high tops or the Uzi with the low tops? I'll just wear these fuzzy slippers.
Right. Fuzzy bunny pink ass slippers.
I guess you can do that when you're the toughest, roughest one in the hood because who's going to say something?
Right. He just put the Uzi on it.
That part. Or, yeah. Do we have a problem here with his USSR missile?
Bruh, do we have a problem? When he started using, when he had his belt talking for him, like all his guns and shit on his belt, and he's like, stop with this belt. Like, get out of the way. He always showing off his little 6-pack, skinny body in all the movies. Anytime he get that shirt go up.
Marlon just like to be naked.
And they're always doing that thing with his legs when they bend. I can't describe it. He just looks crazy when he bends his legs, looking all crazy. Like, he just go like this. I don't know how to describe it. He just look lanky looking.
Well, he is lanky.
Yeah.
I just love Marlon. He can do no wrong, even with his heavy sweat itself. Like even in the movie when he's having a vision of doing stand up, like that's what he's going to do with his life. He's sweating then. Like, why does Marlon sweat so much? Is my question. I want to know: is there like a medical health reason why he perspires the level that he does? Be concerned. They have Botox for that, sir.
Never noticed.
Oh. Watch one of his stand-ups. That man is swimming by the end of them.
I'm gonna make sure I look.
But I just love him either way. But I don't know. First, I don't think that Loc Dog, whichever, will ever come to treatment for him to present to me as a client. I don't know if I would ever see him.
No.
Yeah, no. So I don't even have to do, apparently his prognosis though is well because he did the stand up, the Def Comedy Jam and was doing well.
Oh, that's right. Everything worked out.
Yeah. Guess he found some self-esteem and did grow up to be shit.
Yeah, because being a comedian means you're the shit.
You're doing something.
Better than nothing. Okay, so then what about Ashtray?
Okay, so I still am not exactly sure because I bounce between dependent personality disorder, which I'm not exactly sure if he meets the full criteria for, and then adjustment disorder with disturbance in conduct by him moving to the hood in the first place. I feel like he has some serious attachment issues. I feel like he had a unhealthy almost attachment to his mother, and even when he was leaving, he was like, "Mom's is beefing, saying it's time for me to be a man." Sir, it is. You're grown. That's not beefing. That's okay. This is it. But then immediately after ending the connection that he had with his mom, he sought out Dashiki, who is clearly a mother figure because she has all of these children. Like, and then when she was like saying, can you buy diapers? He was like, diapers? That's it? I used to change my dad diapers all the time. Like, that's all that I need to be in your life. Okay, I got that. I can do that. Immediately finding another maternal connection for him to be a part of and to latch on with. So yeah, I'm going back and forth. I don't know. I feel like he was seeking out stability.
Yeah, he was. I would say, I think you can do both. You know, a lot of times we kind of feel like we can only do one or the other. But I feel like in this instance, yeah, you could give them both as far as the attachment and then dependent, because the attachment caused him to become dependent. I
feel like the attachment caused him to become dependent, but then I feel like the adjustment disorder piece too on top of that, that is, I feel like they maybe all could go together because he is struggling with the adjustment of being in the hood, but I don't know if he is this dependent outside of this adjustment period, which is why I was kind of torn between the two.
Okay, well, then maybe adjustment with further, like if we had more information, we could potentially look at personality disorder. Okay, so then let's go through the criteria for the adjustment disorder. So the criteria for adjustment disorder that I feel like Ashtray meets, there is the development of emotional or behavioral symptoms in response to an identifiable stressor, which for him would be moving to the hood, with marked distress that is out of proportion to the severity or intensity of the stressor, taking into account the external contents and cultural factors that might influence symptom severity and presentation, and significant impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of functioning. And so I feel like he had a little bit of the disturbance in conduct more so, where that's the most predominant symptom in its presentation. What's your prognosis for him?
Apparently him and Dashiki just, skip off into the sunset. He found another woman to provide that nurturing care for him, and he was okay afterwards. He taking care of all these other men's babies.
Oh, Lord. Do you think that would be is that still a healthy relationship?
It was never healthy. It was never healthy.
Never. As soon as I saw the Kool-Aid, I figured, this is getting pretty dangerous. And the melted, government cheese, that was it.
Ghetto people deserve full and intense sexual pleasures and desires, and foreplay being a part of that. However you have to make it work is how you have to make it work. And Dashiki, like he said, was far more advanced and experienced than him, because it sounded like all he was doing was self-pleasure. So
that's very true.
And so, her experiences and coupled with her poverty led to the Kool-Aid, the government cheese, but not the hot dog, because that's the baby's lunch.
Listen, friends, I think that sex can be enjoyed in many different ways. Absolutely. But please be careful with the melting of government cheese. It's hot.
But child, government cheese is hard to melt. You got to put it under high heat to get that stuff to melt.
And it was right there on the lighter, and it was still struggling. If that was any other cheese, it would be like bloop, bloop. But
exactly, I don't know what the government was giving out, but that wasn't 100% cheese. I could tell you that. But Dashiki, my biggest concern for Dashiki is the lack of protection.
Or the lack of self-love. I mean, I'm going to stop right there.
I have issue, though. As much as I love the Wayans brothers, as much as I absolutely love every piece of content that they create, I have quarrel with the fact that their female characters are never really fully developed. Like, they're never really given depth. And this is, it's frustrating. There's never layers. Like, they never fully develop these characters. It's just they serve their purpose, usually this one thing in relation to the male characters. And I don't know why. Y'all got sisters, a whole heap of them. Why y'all can't never write for women?
maybe it's within their family culture that the men, you know, typically have these big roles and the women don't necessarily always have those big roles. So they're playing out, you know, some of their family systems and how they work and what they write.
Well, I like it. Somebody need to go to therapy and heal so y'all can write me a funny woman.
Okay. And don't let her be all crazy acting either.
Always. They always.
Not all Black women act this nuts. Like, gosh. Yikes.
That is my only beef that I have with the Wayans in their creative minds, is that their female characters never have any depth. This was a good opportunity to explain, to even go deep into more with the poetic justice. Like, yes, they made her write poetry and stuff, but it was, I feel like it was a missed opportunity because they didn't give Dashiki anything other than just she be fucking and making babies. And are you my daddy?
I know. So then it kind of goes to that stereotype of over-sexualization of Black women. And that, okay, so either she's extremely dramatic, crying in rollers on the street, or we're going to over-sexualize her and make her have a ton of kids. And then just as soon as she's pregnant, the moment that the guy, you know, ejaculates. Like, what? Like, yes, it's funny.
She said, I know my body.
I was like, wow, that was
And then
bad.
there was immediate question on whether it was even trays. Ashtrays.
Right. Trays. I mean, you gave him a nice, cute name that wasn't stupid.
I mean, because it's from Boys in the Hood where his name is Trey, and then they just made it Ashtray. But
Ashtray. I can't stand that.
And then, but they're at the Ashtray and Low Dog are at the food spot that is also a gas station or motor oil changing place, whatever, a Jiffy Lube, I don't know. And there's question then because Faison Love is potentially, he just apparently slept with her as well because he had to check his watch and to make sure that it wasn't him. Whew, here you go, sucker. I mean, brother, like.
Yeah, you know, and so that even though it is comedy, it's the same kind of thing where if you want to see things change, you have to kind of address those things related to what we laugh at, what we talk about amongst our group. And one of those things being like, yeah, Black women we're hypersexualized. And, you know, with them making fun of that, I mean, it's our reality in some instances, but it's like also, y'all should be protective of your Black women too. And, you know. Yes. So I had a slow moment. I really thought that Ashtray's father was Lorenzo Tate. Was that his name?
One, I'm mad you called him Lorenzo.
I was like,
first of all. And then two, no, it's his brother.
Yeah, I was like, I looked at him, I was like, he looks really different. Why does he look so young? I was like,
no, that's Lamar.
Right. And then I looked at him again, I was like, no, that's not him. All this time I thought it was him, and I thought it was so cool that he played that part.
No, I think they purposefully got and casted Lamar because he is Lorenzo Tate's brother. But
yeah, like, are they twins? Like, cause they like.
No.
I was like, it looks like they look a lot alike, and he's just a tad bit younger looking. And I think his nose or his cheeks, something is different that sets them apart, but they look very much alike.
I think he's actually the older brother.
Is he?
I think so. I could be wrong. I didn't Google it. I'm just going off of sheer memory here. I think he's the older brother.
Cute. They're so handsome.
They are. That's a fine family. They got to have one ugly brother that we don't know about or something.
Has to be.
It's so their dad, I diagnosed. Okay, again, I don't know why this film was so hard for me to diagnose. I'm between two here.
Struggle.
And I feel like it is either mild intellectual developmental disorder or an unspecified neurodevelopmental disorder, because he is clearly at a place where he is not developing the level to which his son is. But there's a freakishly, disgustingly small age difference between Ashtray and his father. But like, he still is not developing the level to which Ashtray is. And even when Dad was going over the rules, he was like, I ain't got to do shit. My mama take care of me. So clearly he's not even able to provide his own self-care because there is somewhere that he is developmentally delayed.
So, in Boys in the Hood, Lawrence Fishburne is only 7 years older than Cuban Gooding Jr. Is it Gooding? Gooding Jr. Yes. And so that was kind of the play on it, is that Shawn Wayans is only a year and a half older than
Lamar. That's funny. I did not know that.
Yeah. So they were playing on the age difference in there. And I guess it wasn't enough of an age gap for him to be his father, which makes sense.
He was fine, but he also had to play his father at two different points of Trey's life too. So that makes sense. Like, I can get it.
Yeah.
That part of it, I guess.
I don't know, because that's I guess they're saying that Lawrence Fishburne just has that daddy-like vibe.
Ooh, that man been fine for a long time.
Okay.
But no, that is something that he said in an interview, because he said a young brother came up to him on the street and was talking to him about the movie. And afterwards, his friend turned to him and was kind of like, that, like, you the father for a whole generation now.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see that, like, come full circle now with him playing a father on Blackish.
I know, right?
I love it. I love Lawrence Fishburne. Don't call him Larry. But yeah, so Dad, no smoking my shit. Don't let me catch you drinking my shit. And if you bring any hoes up in here, make sure I fuck them first. I wouldn't live there. Those would not be rules that I feel like I could abide by.
No. Like, seriously, like, get your own. Like,
which just further makes me feel that you are developmentally delayed somewhere, that you think that I'm about to let you fuck my hoes before I even fuck. Not even after I fuck and I'm done with the hoe. You want to fuck them first?
Damn, son. Where'd you find that?
And then he was saying, like, his fatherly advice was terrible. Never use condoms, sir. They take away all the feeling. They're gonna be drinking at this party. Drinking and driving is fun as hell. You get on this expressway, you punch it to 80, you turn off the lights and let go of the wheel. Man.
Maybe I should just
No. I don't think that is in your best interest. I don't think
for
that's
a moment
we want to try.
You can't lie. You can't lie.
I imagined it, but I didn't want to do it in real life. It's all terrible. All terrible.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna settle on unspecified neurodevelopmental disorder. I feel like I just need more assessment. I need to know more. Why are you this way, sir?
Right. I need to know how you ended up being born,
and then getting Vivica Fox pregnant, and then as you are 1 year older than him, and then I'm so confused.
Now I'm questioning Vivica Fox. Oh, and to your point, circling back to that, I said circling back, but to that point about the women in the movie not having a strong role or a storyline. That she says that in the beginning, Now
there ain't no positive Black females in these movies.
Exactly. So I mean, which is also questionable because why? I don't think there's not maybe looking at the line of positive Black females in these movies.
There aren't any. And so I feel like that yes, could be part of their commentary. But when we've done other Wayans Brothers movies, there still weren't any. Or if they were, they didn't develop their character and give them a certain level of depth there either. And so I feel like that might have been a note that somebody had. And so they wrote it in as their excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Either way. But Dad. Unspecified neurodevelopmental disorder applies to presentations in which symptoms characteristic of neurodevelopmental disorder cause impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of functioning, but do not meet the full criteria for any of the disorders in the neurodevelopmental diagnostic class. I mean, there's more that we could go into with the different neurodevelopmental disorders and how they present. There are definitely some of the issues that we see with the developmental delay and the impairment, with there being his inability to care for himself and his mother having to take care of him, whom we never actually really see, so I don't know how much care she's actually providing, then him not really, to this point, having any real care for Ashtray as his son, but Ashtray providing that care for him as well. Because when he's talking to Dashiki, he's like, change diapers? Yeah, I change my dad's diaper all the time. The fact that his dad was in diapers long enough for him to be able to change him, whether he had him at a year or not, problematic. Their issue. So I just feel like there's lots of things that we could go through with his presenting symptoms. I feel like it's justified. I don't need no more to justify the category. I would just need more information to get a specific, more clearly defined diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know when his milestones were. Like, what age did you take the diaper off, sir?
True.
What age did you start speaking? What age did you start engaging in alcohol and drugs? I need more.
Yeah. And the alcohol and drugs delaying some of that too. Some of that maturation that's supposed to happen naturally. And it stunts, development mentally or cognitively. So that could also be a contributing factor too.
Whom I don't have a real diagnosis for is Preach. Just a self-hating black man. I have no more, no less, just self-hating black man.
Yeah. I don't have anything for him either.
Oh my God, the mother of Mecca is right here before me. Do my eyes not deceive me? Or am I not looking at the goddess Isis herself?
Oh my gosh. Which is so funny because that's definitely a spoof on just the whole African American community in general. It's usually sometimes the most black supremacist that is dating a white chick.
Oh, I hate it when I see hoteps with white women. I think it's actually, no, I don't hate it. It's hilarious to me. I find so much comedy in the juxtaposition of that.
Funny. Anyhow.
Crazy Legs. Unspecified somatic symptom and related disorder.
Okay, yeah, because yeah. And his little feet,
and they would move and wiggle.
They were so annoying with that.
I feel like every disorder that I'm giving out is just unspecified today. I feel like a terrible clinician.
No, because like I mentioned, it's 7 different movies, and we've diagnosed those, different movies.
You diagnose the actual movie that the character is written from. It's hard to get it when it's the spoof because there's no actual real character there.
Yes, exactly. And it's like
a caricature.
Yes. And it's like a buildup of all these other things. And you don't know which movie they're referencing sometimes, or what is their stuff or something else. So it's I was confused. He's trying to make a diagnosis. So I applaud you for doing that. I
attempted very hard. I guess what further led me to this diagnosis for him was after he got hit by the car and he was like, I can't feel my legs. Oh yeah.
His laugh is so annoying. I love it though. It makes me laugh hearing him laugh.
The prognosis was great for him though. He was able to fulfill his dream as a dancer.
Bruh, hammer time. First of all, which one are you? Michael Jackson or Hammer? MC Hammer?
All of the above, because this is a spoof, okay? I can be anything I so desire.
Anything goes. So annoying.
Okay, so one person that I do actual full-on have a diagnosis for and all of that good stuff is, most importantly, toothpick.
Okay. What you diagnosed?
Take me to jail.
Take me to jail.
Lock me up.
Lock me up.
Throw away the key.
Throw away the key.
I ain't afraid to fuck somebody in his ass.
Hey,
You on your own there.
Oh man.
So most importantly is his institutionalization. We can't say anything else before you get to the point that he is severely institutionalized. He is having a difficult time adjusting to being on the outside. He still is moving and behaving as if he were imprisoned, which I feel like institutionalization is something that needs to be categorized under the trauma diagnostic class, because it does present often with some of the similar symptoms along with PTSD and other sorts. So I would say most important is the institutionalization. If he were my client, we would have to work on that and figure out how to get him adjusted to life on the outside, what that looks like for him, what is socially acceptable on the outside, as opposed to like even the way that he was cutting up his chicken and eating it, he was shanking somebody. It was the most. I'm concerned about Toothpick. And then also I diagnosed him with antisocial personality disorder. And so the criteria for that is the failure to conform to social norms with respect to lawful behaviors as indicated by repeatedly performing acts that are grounds for arrest, deceitfulness as indicated by repeated lying or conning others for personal profit or pleasure, impulsivity or failure to plan ahead, irritability and aggressiveness, reckless disregard for safety of self and others, consistent irresponsibility, and lack of remorse is indicated by being indifferent or rationalizing having hurt, mistreated, or stolen from another person. I also gave him the V code of V62.5 with problems related to release from prison. Again, going back to the institutionalization, I feel like if he was my client, we would have to start real basic and real small and build from there. It would really be strong, just heavy CBT in the beginning to get him focused on the thoughts that are preempting these behaviors and trying to shift that a little bit, just because he is a product, unfortunately, of his experiences and the environments that he has been forced to be in because of the over institutionalization of young Black men and the school to prison pipeline and all of those things that created these type of issues for lots of individuals like Toothpick.
Message.
But we need to get at this secret life that he's living as well, where he mentions, you ain't never been in the shower and watched the suds roll down the crack of another man's ass.
Yeah, I was just about to mention his sexuality. Like, we had to adjust that too.
I was fooling y'all. Those were jokes. No, sir. No, you weren't. And I'm concerned about that. But you're not okay with showing up as your authentic self. While yes, I do understand it could potentially not be safe for you to feel like you can present as a homosexual man. But bro, you's at least bisexual. Clearly, because like you're not giving up on Dashiki. Is that because she's your front, or you just really loved Dashiki? But yeah, you enjoy the pleasures of a man as well. So why you lying? But yeah, Toothpick.
That was legit, because I think he's the easiest one, because it was more specific to see what his problem was, whereas the others, it was just like, yeah, it was a little off, because it's just you're adding extra layers to this character because they're trying to fit in 7 different movies.
Unfortunately, Toothpick goes back to jail or prison. Not sure exactly which one, as we see him hit the glass of the police car.
His little peace
sign stays on the window.
It wasn't real.
We get another classic. No, you done fucked up, right? So we get the little gem of that, and he goes back to police custody, which might be where he feels most comfortable. It might not be bad for him to be on the inside, because at this point, it's a smoother transition for him to be in that environment than it is on the outside. I hate to see another Black man go to jail, prison, incarceration in any form, but that might be where he wants to be.
Where I wanna be.
Wow. Okay.
I
knew you weren't done. I didn't want to. Go ahead and finish. You still not. Okay. All right. You know what? If you would like to support the show to help us get more content out to you all, you can visit our website and follow the Support the Show link to become a Patreon member or donate on our Cash App. Now, we are happy to get the kind of money that jingles, but we would rather the kind that folds. As always, be sure to follow us on Instagram at the DSM Podcast. And you can subscribe to our show wherever you get podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and leave us a comment because we are counselors and actually care about what you have to say. Buy our merch while you're out there too.
Hurry up and buy!
Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Okay, bye, Cinebelle.